Housing becomes immoral the moment we stop treating it as shelter and start treating it as a game board. A home is not a luxury trophy, not a speculative chip, not a line item to be flipped for maximum return. It is the place where a child sleeps, where a family gathers, where illness is survived, where grief is carried, where ordinary life becomes possible. When the basic place needed to live is turned into an investment vehicle, the rules of the market stop being neutral and start becoming violent. Because unlike shoes, phones, or cars, people cannot simply opt out of housing. Everyone needs it. Everyone pays into it. And when access to it is controlled by profit, the result is predictable. Prices rise beyond wages, ownership concentrates, and entire communities are priced out of the neighborhoods they built. This is why housing should be understood as a right, not merely a commodity. A right is something society protects because human dignity depends on it. You can lose a stock and recover. You can buy a cheaper appliance. You cannot replace the security of a stable home with, the market will sort it out. The market is designed to reward scarcity and extract value, but housing should do the opposite. It should provide stability, safety, and continuity. When homes are treated as assets first and dwellings second, the incentive is to withhold, inflate, and speculate. Empty units can become more profitable than occupied ones. Rents can be raised not because a home improved, but because the neighborhood became desirable. A family's shelter becomes someone else's portfolio strategy. That shift damages society in deep ways. First comes displacement. Longtime residents are pushed out of the communities where they work, worship, and raise children. Then comes overcrowding, as people double up in unsafe conditions just to stay afloat. Then comes instability, frequent moves, longer commutes, broken school continuity, stress that never fully leaves the body. Children lose the quiet predictability needed to thrive. Adults lose time, money, and health. Entire neighborhoods lose their character as local businesses disappear and are replaced by high turnover, high-margin developments serving wealth instead of community. And once housing insecurity spreads, it does not stay confined to the poor. It reaches teachers, nurses, delivery drivers, service workers, younger professionals, and elderly people on fixed incomes. It reaches the middle class and then hollows it out. People spend more of their income on rent or mortgages, leaving less for food, healthcare, savings, or education. Debt grows. Stress grows. Birth rates fall as people delay family formation because they cannot afford space. Homelessness rises. Mental health worsens. Domestic conflict increases. Crime often rises too, not because people are more immoral, but because desperation thrives where stability has been stripped away. A society that normalizes housing insecurity is manufacturing social disorder and then pretending to be surprised by the consequences. The moral failure is not only economic, it is civic. Communities are built on trust, and trust requires permanence. When people know they may be uprooted by rent hikes, speculative buying, or investor-driven redevelopment, they stop investing emotionally in their neighborhood. They stop planting roots. They stop believing the place is theirs. That weakens democracy itself, because people who feel temporarily tolerated instead of securely housed are less able to participate fully in public life. Housing insecurity becomes political insecurity. So what is the way forward? First, we must stop treating shelter like an ordinary investment class. Public policy should heavily discourage speculation and vacancy, and favor occupancy and long-term affordability. Second, we need a massive expansion of non-market and social housing, public housing, community land trusts, cooperatives, and permanently affordable units that cannot be flipped out from under residents. Third, zoning and permitting should support building enough homes where people actually need them, while protecting residents from displacement. Fourth, tenant protections must be real, stable leases, limits on abusive rent increases, and strong enforcement against neglect. Fifth, wages and housing costs must be brought back into balance, because no housing system is just when working people cannot afford to live near their work. The broader principle is simple: homes should serve life, not profit. A healthy society does not ask people to compete against investors for the right to sleep indoors. It guarantees that shelter is stable, dignified, and within reach. The measure of a civilization is not how high it can push prices, it is whether ordinary people can build a life without fear of being priced out of existence. The way forward is to reclaim housing as a public good, to prioritize human need over speculative gain, and to build a system where having a home is not a privilege granted by wealth, but a foundation owed to every person. I love you all. Peace and blessings.